Welcome back. Today we're using the key features of polynomial graphs to sketch some graphs ourselves. Let's jump right into example 1. In this problem, we're given all the key features for a polynomial, and we're asked to sketch the function on the graph. If you're feeling up for it, pause the video now and try this on your own first. If not, you could just stick with me. What key features should be put on the graph first? If we're given any points, like roots or extrema, we should start by putting those on the graph first. In this case, I have roots at -5, -2, and 1, a local maximum at -3.73, 10.39, and a local minimum at -0.27, -10.39. What's next? Recall that we can use the x values of these points as we write our intervals. So let's look at the intervals that we're given. This function is positive between -5 and -2, and from 1 to infinity. What does that tell us about our graph? Right, between -5 and -2, and from 1 to infinity, the graph is above the x-axis. We can use the roots and the maximum point to create the curve of this graph from -5 to -2, but since there isn't another point to guide the shape of our graph from 1 to infinity, let's wait a bit before we sketch that piece. All right, onto the negative intervals. This function is negative from -infinity to -5, and from -2 to 1. What does that tell us about our graph? Yep, it's below the x-axis in those places. We can use the roots and the minimum point to sketch the curve between -2 and 1. Now that our graph is starting to take shape, we can use this to guide our sketch for these last two intervals. From -5 to -infinity, our graph is negative and will continue to go down. There are a lot of ways we could write our graph that would technically fit that description, but wouldn't quite be an accurate representation of this function. Since we're sketching, we don't need to calculate points or anything, but we do want to continue to follow the shape of the graph that we've built so far. And we'll do the same for the interval from 1 to infinity. You might be wondering why we didn't use the end behavior. Well, the positive and negative intervals we just graphed really showed us what the end behavior had to be. Now we can use the end behavior to confirm the graph we've sketched of this function, though. As x approaches infinity, y is approaching infinity. That looks good. And as x approaches -infinity, y is also approaching -infinity. If you tried this on your own first, take a second to compare your graph to mine. Since we're sketching graphs, it's okay if things aren't exactly lined up, but the general shape of your graph should look like mine, and all of the points should be plotted in the same places. So in example 1, we graphed the points we were given, then filled in the graph using the intervals, and followed the general shape to finish off the end pieces. Pretty straightforward. On to example 2. In this problem, we're given the factored form of the polynomial, a local minimum and maximum point, and the end behavior. All right, let's start the same way we did before, by plotting the points we're given. In this problem, that's a local minimum at -2, 0, and a local maximum at 0, 4. Instead of roots, I have the factored form of the function, though. How can I use these factors to find the roots? Exactly, we can set each of these factors equal to 0 and solve. That means I have a root at -2 and at 1. Since the factor x plus 2 is squared, I know that 2 is a repeated root. So what will the graph look like at x equals -2? Right, when a root has even multiplicity, it means the graph will touch the axis and bounce back up or down depending on the function. You might have noticed that x equals -2 is also a local minimum, indicating the graph will have a trough shape at this point. In other words, the graph will come down and touch the x-axis at -2, then bounce back up. something like this. Let's finish up this middle section and sketch this interval from the maximum point at x equals 0 to this root at x equals 1. What will that look like? We're moving directly between these 2 points, but we don't want to use a straight line because polynomials have curves. So we'll use our best estimation, something like this. We'll finish this graph by checking out the end behavior. This says that as x approaches infinity, y approaches negative infinity. What is that telling us? As x goes to the right, y is going down. Can I sketch just any line that goes down to the right? No, of course not. We want to follow the general shape of the existing graph and think about the general shape of polynomials. On the other end, this says as x approaches negative infinity, y approaches infinity. So as this graph goes to the left, it's going up. That will look something like this. I'm going to fill in my sketch and add some arrows to the ends, and voila. Pause the video and answer the reflection questions for example 2 in your guided notes. So here we used the factored form of the polynomial to solve for the roots. That gave us some points to put on the graph. We used a trough shape at the minimum point and a peak shape at the maximum because we know that polynomials, like quadratic functions, are smooth curves, not straight lines. I think you're ready to try an example on your own. Pause the video here and complete example 3 in your guided notes. All right, let's see how you did. The first thing I did was plot all the points. That's all 4 roots, the 2 global minimums, and the 1 local maximum. Next, we have intervals of increasing and decreasing. Remember that the minimums and maximum will be the end points of these intervals, since the extreme points are where the graph changes direction. The graph is increasing from -3 to 1, and from 5 to infinity, and the graph is decreasing from -infinity to -3, and from 1 to 5. Be sure to correct any mistakes before we wrap up for today. Today, we used different combinations of key features of polynomials to sketch their graphs. To do this, we plot points first, then intervals, and we use smooth curves on our sketches because polynomials don't have straight lines. Be sure to check out the graphing activity in your lesson materials. Stay curious, and I'll see you next time.